When you look at the crowds today, you have maybe 5,000-6,000 people here. On the streets yesterday, 1 million people, 1 million Iranians in the street for the Ayatollah Khomeini. Does that not give you concern? Does that not make you afraid?
Because they are afraid, yeah, that's right. And most of the people don't say anything because they are afraid. And they are in silence, you know, they don't say anything.
Is this the silent majority of Iran out here now?
Yes, that's right.
Do you want the Shah to return?
Yes, Shah, return to the country.
What about you, Shah? Why do you want the Shah? Why does she want the Shah?
ما شاه میخوایم ما بیچاره این
شاه جسم کشتنش حلاله کجای قرآن گفته
47 years we've been bleeding in the dark, under the shadow of the Islamic regime, with a stone-cold heart. They silenced our voices, they turned off our light. 58 days without internet, but we still fought the night. Our children took the streets, they raised their empty hands, and the world looked away. Do you understand? Do you know Europe? Do you know what's been done? Do you know Europe? 42,000 souls are gone, killed in 2 days by a regime drenched in blood. Do you know Europe? Or have you just given up? Do you know Europe? Do you feel anything at all? Or did something break inside you while Iran answered the call? Do you know Europe? 42,000 lives, 2 days, that's all it took. Mothers and fathers and sons, did you even look? We stand with Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, our hope and voice. Millions behind him marching, he is our only choice. He only fights for freedom, democracy and human rights. But you mock him in your chambers while he fights for our lives, to pull us out of this darkness, this century-long night, while you sign deals with our killers and call it diplomatic right. Do you know Europe? Do you know what's been done? Do you know Europe? They hang 60, 40 souls one by one, hanged within 4 months by a regime drenched in blood. Do you know Europe? Or have you just given up? Do you know Europe? Do you feel anything at all? Or did something break inside you while Iran answered the call? Do you know Europe? What happened to you, Europe? What made you so cold? What turned your heart to stone? while our story went untold. Is oil worth more than blood? Is silence worth the shame? Because while you negotiate with murderers, we are dying, calling your name. Do you know Europe? Do you know what's been done? Do you know Europe? 42,000 souls are gone, killed in 2 days by a regime drenched in blood. Do you know Europe? Or have you just given up? Do you know Europe? We are still here. We are still strong. Do you know Europe? How much longer? How much longer? How long? Do you know Europe?
To all of our friends around the world, under the yoke of the Islamic Republic, Iran is identified in your minds with terrorism, extremism, and poverty. The real Iran is a different Iran, a beautiful, peace-loving, and flourishing Iran. It is the Iran that existed before the Islamic Republic, and it is the Iran that will rise again from its ashes the day the Islamic Republic falls. So let me be clear about how a free Iran will act towards its neighbors and the world after the fall of this regime. In security and foreign policy, Iran's nuclear military program will end. Support for terrorist groups will cease immediately. A free Iran will work with regional and global partners to confront terrorism, organized crime, drug trafficking, and extremist Islamism. Iran will act as a friend and a stabilizing force in the region, and it will be a responsible partner in global security. In diplomacy, relations with the United States will be normalized, and our friendship with America and her people will be restored. The State of Israel will be recognized immediately. We will pursue the expansion of the Abraham Accords into the Cyrus Accords, bringing together a free Iran, Israel, and the Arab world. A new chapter will begin, grounded in mutual recognition, sovereignty, and national interest. In energy, Iran holds some of the largest oil and gas reserves in the world. A free Iran will become a reliable energy supplier to the free world. Policymaking will be transparent. Iran's actions will be responsible. Prices will be predictable. In transparency and governance, Iran will adopt and enforce international standards. Money laundering will be confronted. Organized corruption will be dismantled. Public institutions will answer to the people. In the economy, Iran is one of the world's last great untapped markets. Our population is educated, modern, with a diaspora that connects it to the four corners of the world. A democratic Iran will open its economy to trade, investment, and innovation, and Iran will seek to invest in the world. Opportunity will replace isolation. This is not an abstract vision. It is a practical one, grounded in national interest, stability, and cooperation. To achieve this, now is the time to stand with the Iranian people. The fall of the Islamic Republic and the establishment of a secular, democratic government in Iran will not only restore dignity to my people, it will benefit the region and the world. A free Iran will be a force for peace, for prosperity, and for partnership.
وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته ایم قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه روبروم یه واژه یه هدف به نام انتقامه پشت سرم دعای مادر و تو دستم تفنگ بابامه رو زبونم اسم شاه بگینین عشق بی انتهاست هر جا اسم ایران اومد اونجا صدای بچه رضاست فردا می نویسم تو کتاب قصه دیمار بگو با تیر جنگی کشتن بچه های بیگناه رو بگو از بخت مادرها چیر زنا و دخترام بگو تنها شهید شدیم تا تنها نمونه شامون وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته ایم قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه
سلام من به تو یار قدیمی منم همون هوادار قدیم
سید سلام چطوری مردک کلی کتلت شدین دایی بدون مدرک سلام بسیجی قهرمان رفتی پیش توسی با پنیر و یه نون سنگک سلام به محفل قرآنیتون سلام به مدیرای بحرانیتون سلام به حاجی اکبر و طوله هاش و خارج و رفقای ارگانیتون سلام به دزدای پول ملت که تش میفتین توی تور ملت سلام به همه شما کرکسایی که دارین نونتون رو میزنین تو خون ملت ساکتش زیر دست و پاک و تک بخورین حالا هی به یه بادکنک بدوین سلام آخر تو زندان باشه وقتی قرار به این آب خنک بخورین مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا اینو بگذریم به خاک میرسیم تجزیه طلبی که به خاک بیرسیم ایران مردمش وطن پرستن از کرد تا بلوچ بری به فاک بیرسی توف به هر چی مرسی است توف به هر کی در پی تجزیه است توف به لوی و همونی که شیفته ی گل ملیگرا تو وطن خدا نفسی هست سر کردستان همه برپا شدن بلوچستان فدای مهسا شدن شم واحد که شیر و خورشید ما برقی جعلیا تنها شدن شادی باشه واسه همه در میهن کور بشه چه شهر چی اهریمن رخ رو بگی تا اون 6 کلاس سواد و خبرگان و مجد سری ترجیحن شبهای عروس و دامادی باشه برن سلامتی نوش کنن و آبادی باشه لحظت کجاست میدون شهیاده به سمت اتوبان آزادی باشه سلام به نسل ندید پدیدا نبودیم ندیدیم قدیمتی ما شاه بود تو شادی کل میزدین حالا شاه بر میگرده پیک میزنین مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا
آهنگ به این خوشگلی با نایده بود اسم این عشقانه رو توش بیاریم ولی خب لازم بود دیگه فکر کنم با نایده
Talking of peace, but you know how it ends. Smiles for the cameras, deals in the light, but truth disappears somewhere out of sight. Mullahs behind it, controlling the flow. You shake hands with fire, but you already know. Iranians want freedom, they're reaching high. From cells to the shadows, their voices still grow, dreaming of a future they don't even know. Deals at the top while the pressure runs low, and down below the fear continues to grow. Deal with the devil, you know what it costs. Promises fade while the lines get crossed. Deal with the devil, you hear their call, voices in chains. sure deal. One stands firm, one bends to the game. History writes down the choice and the name. Stand with strength, don't let it all go. You don't free millions by moving too slow. Mr. Trump, if you give them that deal, they keep the power, they tighten the seal. More voices silenced, more lives erased, while freedom is pushed further away. Be the Reagan they need, take a stand, don't trade their future for a sake of a hand. Deal with the devil, you know what it costs. Too many lives already lost. Deal with the devil, you hear their call. Iranians fighting, they won't let it fall. Deal with the devil, don't look away, while lives are taken day by day. Mr. Trump, be like Reagan, no deals with the devil.
Let's go. میخوام بگم از دلم، از عشق به این میهنم، به امید روز شکست دشمن شاه برمیگرده به وطن. برگشتن پهلوی، وحشت هر اجنبی، بلند بگو همشهری، شاه رضا پهلوی. نظام رسیده پرتگاه، بلند بگو جاوید شاه. برگشت شاه به میهن، دوای درد وطن. این آخرین نبرده، پهلوی برمیگرده. داره میاد پهلوی، زجه بزن سید علی، راه نجات وطن. پهلوی هموطن، ایران میشه گلستان. شاه که بیاد به ایران، ایران که شاه نداره، حساب کتاب نداره. آخون باید گم بشه، توپ تانک فشفشه. گم شو بیرون اجنبی، داره میاد پهلوی. فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. ما شاه میخوایم نه ملا، بذار بشنوه دنیا. ایرانی داد بزن، شاه تو فریاد بزن. برگشتن پهلوی، وحشت هر اجنبی، بلند بگو هموطن. شاه رضا پهلوی، فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. بلند بگو جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. بلند بگو جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه.
Look at us here today. We see so many flags representing so many nations. We know we are not alone, and we thank you for being with us. For all people around the world who stand today in unity with the Iranian people, this is not just because it's good for us, and you do it out of compassion and care for our rights to liberty and justice and equality and human rights. But understand that it is in your best interest too, to have, unlike this regime that has been propagating terror and radicalism, we the people of Iran are peacemakers and not warmongers. We like to be friends, especially with the free world. We'd like to be able to have the best neighborly relationship with the people of our area and the region, with the Arab countries, with Israel, and all our other neighbors. We are fighting for justice, we're fighting for human rights, we are fighting for liberty, we're fighting to put an end to all sorts of discrimination. Because as an Iranian, I stand here to tell you that I've dedicated 47 years of my life because I think that my country deserves far better than what we have right now. To now understand that their best remedy is to support the people of Iran, because ultimately a free Iran will be your best partner, not just to bring stability and peace, but it will be in your best economic interest and opportunities. Together we can prosper again, and the world will be so different once the Iranian people are free. I am here to guarantee a transition to secular democratic future. I am committed to be that leader of transition for you, so we can one day have the final opportunity to decide the fate of our country through a democratic, transparent process, through the ballot box and free elections. And let's make sure that this time, especially the free nations of this world and their governments, stand on the right side of history.
Well, Durud, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to day 141 of Iran Revolution Live with your wonderful and amazing host, Mr. Armin Navabi.
And your wonderful and amazing host, Goldie Ghamari.
Thank you. Thank you. Armin, did you miss me? I missed all of you guys.
We missed you so much. So much. It's not the same without you. It was like people thought we were like every time, where's Goldie? Where's Goldie? Where's Goldie? I'm like, I'm sorry. She's coming. I promise. I'm not doing a coup against Goldie. But now you're back.
Wow. Well, I watched a little bit when I could, and you were amazing. So thank you so much for holding down the fort while I was traveling.
Oh my God, I'm so happy that you said that. I thought I might have screwed up.
No, you were fantastic.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, it was great. So thank you so much for all of that. So yeah, I missed you guys too. But so I was in Montreal for 2 days, and I attended the rally in Montreal yesterday. There was about maybe 5,000 people who were there, if not more. And I was invited to attend and give a speech. And it was amazing. And Armin, I got so much positive feedback about Iran Revolution Live. All of the organizers and volunteers and everyone attending, not only do they watch, but they appreciate it all. And then everyone was like, they were like, Salam be Armin beresun, Salam be Armin beresun. So
wow,
everyone was like, say hi to Armin.
So, oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So everyone in Montreal loves you. People in Montreal, Armin, they love you.
Thank you. Hi, Montreal. Thank you. That's so sweet. Oh.
So no, it was a fantastic time, and it was so nice to connect with the Iranian community as well. Just to get, because you and I, we're in staring at cameras all day, pretty much trying to be a voice for not just the Iranian people, but of course the not just Iranian people in Iran, but the diaspora as well, to communicate the messages and share the news and what's going on. Sort of bridge that gap between the Iranian community and the rest of the world. So it was really nice to connect with the Iranian community. And get feedback from them, and basically the feedback that I got was, you guys are amazing, please keep it up, please continue, you guys are our voice. So yeah, a lot of positive feedback. So it was very energizing, very motivating.
Oh, that's so great to hear. And Goldie, thank you so much for going into these rallies. You know,
Oh,
you contribute.
absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I gave a
You
speech as
contribute in
well.
so many different ways.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, I gave a speech as well yesterday. So
Oh
gave
man.
a
Oh,
speech as well.
can we see it? Can we
Mm.
see it?
Sure, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the breaking news though, but I guess we could
No.
start we could start with my speech and then we can get to the
Yes,
breaking
because
news.
President Trump just posted half an hour ago on Iran.
Really? Okay, should we go to that or what do you guys think? Should we just go to the breaking news or should I play my speech? It's up to you guys.
I mean,
Speech? Okay.
Speech,
Right.
yes. I mean, the President Trump's post will be there for after your speech. So I'm biased over towards your speech.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see if this is the. I wonder if I can find. I haven't even watched my speech yet of myself because I don't like watching myself. But okay, I think. Okay, so here's one. Let's see if this is like the full version. Let me see. Let me share this. Okay. So.
درود به شرف تک تک شما با شرف هستید که برای 19 هفته تو سرما و تو گرما اومدید بیرون و یه صدایی برای ملت ایران هستید.
So I basically say, greetings to everyone, greetings to your honor. Because when I went up on stage, people started chanting Ba Sharaf, which means honorable. So I basically, I was kind of embarrassed. I was like, thank you. But you guys are the honorable ones because Armin, the Iranians in Montreal for the last 19 weeks, every Saturday, they have gone out. So
wow.
All of this weekend. Yeah, they started on January 3 and they have been going out every week. So basically here I'm saying, you guys are the honorable ones because for 19 consecutive weeks, you've been going out in, freezing cold weather, in warm weather to be a voice for the Iranian people. So I was there for the week 19. It's an honor to be here with you. And with your permission, I'm going to speak in English so that I can, be a voice for the Iranian people.
Bonjour à toutes et à tous, je suis Goldie Ghamari. Avec votre permission, je vais parler en anglais. Merci pour être ici aujourd'hui. Mon français n'est pas très bien, mais je suis fière de parler un petit peu. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Goldie Ghamari, and it is an honor to be here today as we continue to be a voice for the people of Iran. For 78 days, the terrorist and illegitimate Islamic regime that is occupying Iran has shut
Goldie. Wow. How do you do it? I do not know. You're a true leader. Just on the spot without any notes. So inspirational, so powerful. It's really impressive. It's really impressive how you do it every single time.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I kind of have like certain points that I want to, speak about, but I just find that if I'm just, speaking from the heart, it's just, I mean, sometimes I write speeches down, but not usually. Usually I just sort of go with what I'm feeling. But there you go. So that was my speech yesterday. I hope you guys enjoyed that.
That was so good. That was
Thank
so good.
you.
And thank you again. Thank you again. You're truly a great, like, honestly, Goldie, I know I've said this so many times, but we're so lucky to have you. We're so lucky to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. We're all playing a really important role, but and all the Iranian diaspora has been so incredibly active, and like what they're doing is also so important, right? So yesterday there was this the rallies were not just in Montreal, but there was one in Ottawa. There was actually, I think, 38 cities that were holding demonstrations simultaneously. And then of course there was two other big demonstrations, one in San Francisco where King Reza Pahlavi was speaking, and then of course the other one was in the UK with Unite the Right, and Tommy Robinson I saw on stage. He's holding a picture of the Shah.
I have that ready.
Let's go. Or should we go to President Trump's update first, though? Before
yes,
Okay.
I think that's the highest the priority right now. Yeah, and guys, we see your super chats. We will read them when it's the super chat time. So thank you for that. Okay, so should I add this on screen?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So I think we should change the scene to the one that you have. Do we have a scene that puts us on the top right, or is this okay?
I think this is fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So Goldie, look at this. President Trump saying for Iran, the clock is ticking and they better get moving fast or there won't be anything left for them. Time is of the essence. President Donald J. Trump. Wow. Goldie, the past 24 hours, people have been talking about the attack happening soon. I don't know if they're correct or not, but everybody is expecting the attacks to happen any moment now. Again, I'm not saying they're correct, but that's the main focus of all the conversations at the moment.
I mean, well, President Trump posted something yesterday, and it was basically the calm before the storm. Yeah, there you go. So, I think we're in the calm before the storm.
Right. So you think it might take longer? Or
I don't know when it's going to happen. I have no idea when it's going to happen, but
right.
It's the calm before the storm. So whatever's going to happen, it's I think whatever happens, it's going to be big and it's going to be final.
Fast.
Yeah, because if you recall, when President Trump was on Air Force One coming back, he even said that the job in Iran is only about 70 to 75% done. So even President Trump, outright acknowledged that the job in Iran is not yet done.
Not finished.
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you interpret? I mean, this is pretty. Is there anything that you want to add about this, or is basically the same as?
Well, I mean, the way that I see this is President Trump is basically saying to the Islamic regime, if you don't accept the terms of our deal, and again, that deal is unconditional surrender. If you don't accept the terms of the deal, then we're going to resume. Because President Trump has made it very clear in several interviews that he's had in the past, either the Islamic regime accepts the terms of the deal, which is unconditional surrender, or President Trump will bomb them, one or the other.
Right.
So President Trump is basically saying this is your final chance. And, I have a feeling that, okay, so you know how President Trump keeps on talking about the different, layers of leadership? So
Yes.
the reason that, we're sort of in the third, maybe the fourth layer is because President Trump sort of, was hoping that whoever became the leader, de facto leader, would agree to the terms of unconditional surrender. That hasn't happened yet. Now, Ghalibaf very well may have wanted to accept the terms of President Trump's deal, if that would, enable the Islamic regime to survive in some, shape or form. However, the challenge that Ghalibaf has is that the IRGC commanders do not want to accept any sort of terms, right? And now that the supreme dictator, the cardboard dictator, has come out and said, we're not going to give up nuclear enrichment or anything like that, right? So Ghalibaf, it has essentially become useless, because I have a feeling the reason that, the first level of leaders was eradicated, and then the second was because President Trump thought, maybe if the first layer wasn't going to be reasonable, maybe the second layer would be reasonable, but that didn't work, right? So he got rid of Larijani and, Shamkhani and the others. And now that they're at Ghalibaf, but Ghalibaf has been pretty much iced out, right? So Ghalibaf is no longer in the decision-making process, which means Ghalibaf is now essentially useless. So President Trump has a decision to make, and I think this is where they're going to be discussing with Israel and Netanyahu behind the scenes, because President Trump now has to, I guess, President Trump and Israel maybe have to decide, okay, are we going to, just get rid of Ghalibaf and then find out, figure out who the fourth layer is, or are they going to instead go after those, those factions within the Islamic regime that are preventing Ghalibaf from signing the unconditional surrender deal, right? So we're talking Vahidi, Ejei, Zolqad, these people, Jalili, Musavi, right?
Jalili doesn't have that much power, but yeah.
Okay. So there you go. So I think that's sort of where they're at. And, President Trump saying, the clock is ticking, they better get moving fast. To me, that's basically President Trump is saying if they don't agree to the deal that the United States has put forward, then the strikes will continue. Because my understanding is that all of the military assets are pretty much in place. So they're not waiting for anything else to arrive. Like everything is pretty much in place. So everyone is sort of ready to go.
So Ghalibaf has been given a new position, which I think is in line with what you're saying, because I think I see it as a demotion. So Ghalibaf was been appointed as the Islamic Republic special envoy for China, which to me means that he's not the face of the Islamic Republic anymore. Like he has a more specific role. I see that as a demotion. That's the role that they just gave him.
Who gave that to him?
Well, I'm pretty sure like the people at the top, like Vahidi and other people, pushed him in that position.
Okay. So now who's the Speaker of the House or Speaker of Parliament or whatever?
No. He's still the Speaker of the House, but the Speaker of the House is not doesn't give him a power, because that's just the House. The Parliament is like nothing, right? The Parliament is just a puppet of the powers that be. So if Ghalibaf had any power before, it wasn't because of him being the Speaker of the Parliament. It was because of the connections and powers he had within IRGC. So that is a ceremonial position to begin with. But his main position that he had that made him give him some influence to come and speak on behalf of the Islamic Republic that has been taken away from him. I think, for at least temporarily. I don't know if they're going to change it in the future, right? Because these people these people just give titles left and right to each other, and the actual power doesn't come from the title that they have. It comes from the leverage that they have behind the scenes, right? And I think that's just signal. That's just a signal that, yeah, you're the China guy right now. You're not the Islamic Republic face of the negotiation anymore, right? That's how I see it, at least.
Yeah, no, like absolutely. And I mean, these people are scrambling. So I definitely do see that as a demotion, because why the heck would they put Olibov as a special envoy to China right now? Remember, Araghchi went to Beijing a few weeks, or like about 2 weeks ago, like back in early May, he went to Beijing first in order to meet with Xi Jinping. And then, of course, what we saw was that China, is basically just using the Islamic regime as sort of like a card, right? It's just another, pawn on the game of chess in this sort of geopolitical dance between the United States and China, right? Iran, unfortunately, the Islamic regime has reduced Iran to such a low point that Iran is not viewed as an equal, right? So China just views the Islamic regime as a pawn to be used or discarded if and when. So given President Trump's messaging right now, this makes me even more convinced that the main purpose of President Trump's visit to China was to make it very clear to Xi Jinping and Beijing that they are planning on getting rid of the Islamic regime, and that they are aware of China's close connections and close relationship with the Islamic regime, and basically putting China on notice that there's going to be a geopolitical shift, and you guys are just going to have to deal with that, and you can't rely on heavily subsidized oil from the Islamic regime anymore. So I think that's what the purpose. I think that was the main purpose of the trip. And President Trump is being very vague about Iran when it comes to China. So I think that's what it was. And now with this message that I'm seeing here, right, and like the other messaging as well, like the calm before the storm. Yeah, I think he's putting the Islamic regime on notice.
Yeah. There are some other things that are happening on state TV in Iran, which I don't think we should show because there's a lot of guns involved. I could show you the video without playing the video. I don't know if YouTube is going to be censored.
I think it should be okay if it's just like still images, because we have shown a lot of those. So I know what you're talking about, but yeah, let's go ahead and show it.
Okay. Just wanted to check with you. So these are again, I'm going to pause it so that it doesn't play it because it's still images. These are 3 videos that 3 separate videos all of a sudden happen. And there was more. I'll show you there's even more than this. So we didn't, by the way, guys, I know you might think that this is normal jihadi stuff within the Islamic Republic. I promise you it's not. This is a new escalation, and even bizarre, even based on Islamic Republic standards. All of a sudden, the day before, it wasn't any of this. And then the day after, all of a sudden, guns on state TV. Here's how to use guns. Here's how you get guns. Here's how you shoot the guns. And I'm like, what the hell? They're training pro-regime people on how to use guns. And I know what people are going to say. We have a response to that because people are like, what does this stop? Well, the anti-regime people are going to learn as well. And they're telling people where to go get the guns and how to use them. And on state TV, the guy the host of the show that was learning how to use a Kalashnikov or an AK-47, he picked the gun and he shot at the UAE flag in the studio at the UAE flag. So then it got escalated even more. Before I go to that video, Goldie, this was my take on this. Should I read my take on what?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So this was my take on it. This is what I said. I said, urgent. The Islamic Republic is now broadcasting gun training on state TV. The regime is actively instructing pro-regime civilians on how to use firearms, laying the groundwork to arm loyalists to shoot and suppress anti-regime Iranians in the event of an uprising. This unprecedented and desperate move reveals two critical pieces of intelligence about the regime's current mindset. Based on internal data, they possess that we don't. One, they believe an uprising is imminent. The regime's actions telegraph their internal intelligence. By rushing to publicly prepare and arm loyalist civilians, they are showing their hand. They fear a major uprising is rapidly approaching. So that's one. Two, their official forces are severely weakened. The regime no longer believes it can suppress a massive revolt using its official security apparatus alone. Following the severe damage to their military and suppression capabilities from recent events, including Operation Epic Fury and sustained strikes by US and Israel, their infrastructure is fractured. If you were wondering whether recent military and economic pressure actually damaged the regime's ability to crack down on its own people, here is your answer. Going on national television to publicly encourage civilians to take up arms against their neighbors is a glaring act of desperation. It proves the Islamic Republic knows it is currently too weak to survive the next wave of protests with its traditional forces. So that was the first escalation. And by the way, I do know that this might all just be fear tactic. There might or might not be an actual plan to arm the pro-regime people on a mass scale. It might be just a tactic to scare the anti-regime Iranians to stay home. I understand that mind game as well. Before you tell me about it in the chat. But then it got even crazier. Okay, because then the state TV released another video with, again, I'm not going to play it. Let me pause this so it doesn't play. Okay, it's just still images. But guys, children, and this is in mosques, okay? In mosques, they were training children, men, women, and children, really young children, on how to use guns and RPGs inside mosques, which again reminds you of what Goldie said before. This is why people think that, oh, Goldie was being a radical to say that, oh, the Iranian people are burning mosques. These are not worship centers. These are military bases. So this was a massive escalation on top of that. So this is what I wrote regarding that. The regime, so massive escalation. The regime is now arming children with RPGs in mosques. By the way, guys, you have to see this video. So I'm going to post a link to it in the chat because I don't want to show it here on YouTube because YouTube might flag us. So I'll post a link to it if you want to go see this video. You can see children in mosque being trained with RPGs. So these are anti-tank weapons that they're teaching their supporters, the civilian supporters, to use against the Iranian people, against the civilian population. So it's a massive escalation. The regime is now arming children with RPGs in mosques. What you are watching is pure desperation. The Islamic Republic is now using mosques as military training grounds to arm men, women, and horrifyingly young children with assault rifles and RPGs. State propaganda claims they are preparing to fight Zionists and American enemies. We know exactly what that code word means. They are referring to the anti-regime Iranian people. This training is designed for one primary purpose: to arm loyalists to slaughter their own neighbors during an uprising. This video represents a catastrophic escalation for several reasons. One, children are being weaponized. Handing heavy weaponry like RPGs to children is a war crime. The regime is brainwashing and militarizing the youth, preparing them to unleash explosive violence on civilian populations. Two, mosques are military bases. By turning places of worship into weapon depots and combat training centers, the regime is using religion as a shield to execute extreme violence. Three, total desperation and loss of control. You do not train civilians and children to use anti-tank weapons inside a mosque if your official military and security forces are intact and capable. This proves the regime's infrastructure is severely fractured and they are terrified of the people. This is no longer just basic suppression. They are preparing for a brutal civil conflict, using their own citizens as human shields and executioners. So, yeah, and again, I know a lot of people are saying that, okay, well, whatever they're going to hand out these weapons, why can't the anti-regime Iranians just show up there and pick up these weapons and also get the same training on TV that they're giving to other people? The problem is that I think that if they add any vetting process that requires you to be introduced by your family members or people who have a history of showing up to the mosque, people who've been haydering for a while, and the mosque knows them as a active, like that's what I think they would do. They would see that people who have historically been an active participant in the mosques, those are the people who they would give the weapons to. So that's why I think you can't just show up and pick up some of these weapons. But if they are going to give out these weapons, this might just be a fear tactic. But yeah, Goldie, this is a new low for the Islamic Republic, which is really hard to go lower, but they somehow always manage to find a way.
Yeah. I mean, it's you can't put anything past this regime, right? They're a brutal regime.
Right.
And we've always known that the closer they get to the end, the more vicious and desperate they will become.
Yeah, exactly. And as we mentioned, and one of the super chats mentioned this as well. So I think people would love to see this again. I showed it yesterday, but let's show it again. Tommy holding picture of Prince Reza Pahlavi. So let's watch that.
حمایت تامی رابینسون از مزاج‌های دوم. همین الان جلوی این همه حمایت تامی رابینسون.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. And Goldie, remember Tommy, like we talked about Princess of Pahlavi and how the Iranian people, when Tommy came on Iran Revolution Live, we told Tommy how the Iranian people are not just fighting against the Islamic Republic, they're fighting for the return of Prince Reza Pahlavi. And right after Tommy came on Iran Revolution Live, right after that, he started posting in favor of Prince Reza Pahlavi as well. So that was amazing.
Tommy's great.
And
Tommy's a really good person. We're really lucky to have him as an ally and a friend.
And the Iranian people returned a favor. I mean, it's not just, I mean, they would have anyways, but Tommy was so supportive of us Iranian people. He's one of the few people who has been fighting so much well, not few people. There are many people in UK who are fighting for the Iranian people, but Tommy is one of our greatest champions, our greatest heroes against the fight against the Islamic Republic. And when he called out to all the people in the UK to come out to his rally, the Iranian people responded. And oh, did they respond. Look at this. Look at the flags. Look how many of them are Iranian flags. Oh, and there was another tweet that Tommy posted, which I should find really fast, about the Iranian people showing up. It was so wholesome. But guys, look at among the flags, you see the UK flag, but the number one flag that is not based in the UK is the Iranian flag. You see how many Iranians showed up? Isn't that amazing? I mean,
that is fantastic.
Yeah. Oh my God. And let me show you. Oh, I found it. Okay, I was worried that I'm gonna spend a lot of time looking for it and bore you guys, but no, I found it. So Tommy posted this. Somebody messaged Tommy on WhatsApp and said to Tommy, "Hey mate, just to let you know, more than 10 buses coming to London tomorrow, 10 of them confirmed, all Persian from all around the country coming just because of you, man. We know what you're doing for the UK. Be strong. You have our support. Hope to see you tomorrow." And Tommy posted the screenshot saying, "Free Iran, we stand with you." Look at that. Look at the Iranian people. So proud of you. So proud of you. Amazing. Oh my God. So let's go. So, we have updates, Goldie, about the UAE. So the Islamic Republic decided to, let me actually just play it so we could just watch this. This is crazy update.
Yeah, Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yinks is live in Tel Aviv. I'm sure he's got more for us. Trey?
Yeah, guys, good morning. We do start with some breaking news out of the UAE, where officials say that a drone attack against a nuclear power plant caused a fire at a generator on the outside.
This is huge. This is huge. A nuclear power plant is being targeted.
Caused a fire at a generator on the outskirts of the facility. This is a significant attack and likely conducted by the Iranian regime. It comes as tension continues to rise across the Middle East as the region waits to see if the war will resume in the days ahead. So far, efforts toward a diplomatic solution with Iran have been unsuccessful, with officials in Tehran unwilling to make the necessary concessions to reach a deal. President Trump spoke on his return flight from China, indicating he didn't like the first sentence of the Iranian response to the U.S. peace proposal.
I looked at it, and if I don't like the first sentence, I just throw it away. What was the first sentence? An unacceptable sentence.
Yeah, Chief Foreign Correspondent.
So, Goldie, I have the fuller version of this interview, which is 5 minutes. I don't know if we should play that.
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay. So, let me bring it up.
Yeah, guys, good morning. We do start with some breaking news out of the UAE, where officials say that a drone attack against a nuclear power plant caused a fire at a generator.
I'll be right back in 30 seconds. I need a bio break while I'm playing this.
On the outskirts of the facility. This is a significant attack and likely conducted by the Iranian regime. It comes as tension continues to rise across the Middle East as the region waits to see if the war will resume in the days ahead. So far, efforts toward a diplomatic solution with Iran have been unsuccessful, with officials in Tehran unwilling to make the necessary concessions to reach a deal. President Trump spoke on his return flight from China, indicating he didn't like the first sentence of the Iranian response to the U.S. peace proposal.
I looked at it, and if I don't like the first sentence, I just throw it away. What was the first sentence? An unacceptable sentence. Because they fully agreed, no nuclear, and if they have any nuclear of any form, I don't read the rest of it. So 20 years is not enough for you. It's got to be a no, 20 years is enough, but the level of guarantee from them is, in other words, it's got to be a real 20 years.
So, guys, something you need to remember: we're seeing new statements from the from President Trump and United States that might make some people upset regarding how flexible the United States is being. It doesn't matter if you actually look at how far away the American terms are from the Islamic Republic. They're so far away. Okay, these are just buying time tactics, and as long as they are this far away, it doesn't matter. Like, for example, if United States is at 100 and the Islamic Republic is at 0, I see a lot of people panicking because the Islamic Republic, because United States all of a sudden comes to 99 and the Islamic Republic comes to 1, and like, oh no, now they're gonna have a deal. Why are the Americans are being so flexible? Look at the gap. Okay, focus more on the gap and realize that with the already existing terms, no deal is going to happen. So even if you see them moving a little bit and saying things that might make you upset regarding, oh, why is it 20 years now instead of forever? It doesn't matter. This is just going to buy more time. It's just messing with them, right? And dividing them.
And on Saturday, the USS Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group returned to the United States after a deployment that was the longest for the U.S. since the Vietnam War. Now, Secretary of State Pete Hegseth called the work.
Look at them waiting for their husband. That's so cute. Look at that. Greeting her, I don't know, maybe boyfriend, husband.
USS Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group returned to the United States after a deployment that was the longest for the U.S. since the Vietnam War. Now,
That's
Secretary
so
of State
sweet.
Pete Hegseth.
Where did he get flowers? Where the hell did he manage to get flowers? Okay.
called the work of these sailors phenomenal.
Do they have like a flower shop on the ship? Did he order it on Amazon? Like, well, that's impressive that he managed to get that. Those are fresh flowers. How did he get that?
Absolute resolve, epic fury. It's an incredible story, and the only story that should be told today is of the heroism and the skill and the professionalism of these sailors who went 3 times around the globe to defend that flag right there, which can only do what this strike group does.
Overnight, President Trump shared a series of AI images on Truth Social. One shows the president standing at a control center that says Space Force with outgoing missiles on a screen behind him. The other shows him commanding the Navy with the caption, "It was the calm before the storm." All of this comes as the Iranians have accused the United States of changing their negotiating position.
An attack on our nuclear...
What?
Their negotiating position.
An attack on our nuclear facilities has already taken place once, and they claim they completely destroyed them. Yet now they are once again talking about attacking the facilities. These contradictory statements truly indicate the depth of America's confusion regarding their objectives in this war.
They're not confused. They're confusing you, and it's working. You seem confused. Oh, by the way, I think he's now the new face. I think Arakchi has been promoted. I think Ghalibaf has been demoted, and Arakchi, being a good puppet to Vahidi, has been promoted to be the main face of the Islamic Republic right now. Instead of Arakchi being Ghalibaf's puppet and Ghalibaf being the main face, because Arakchi is more willing to dance based on the Vahidi tune, he's now been promoted to a more significant position.
Iranian officials continue to make serious statements about the country's nuclear program.
Yes, that's a good name, Bill. Supreme Puppet. He's now the supreme puppet of the Islamic Republic.
Iranian officials continue to make serious statements about the country's nuclear program. This is a key issue President Trump wants resolved either at the negotiating table or on the battlefield. Guys?
Trey, real quick, of the many things I believe the New York Times broke this week as far as what the administration may do, one of the things was, a ground offensive for the nuclear material, but the other one was still this idea of taking Carg Island. That might become a reality. Could you explain if there's any breadth to that and why?
That's interesting. That's a good question, because some people are suggesting that taking over Carg Island is less likely than before because the blockade is already doing the job. But some people are saying, no, Carg Island is still on the table.
I've been speaking with regional intelligence officials this morning who indicate that the assessment inside of Iran is President Trump may resume combat operations against the regime. And these officials say that currently the Iranians are conducting a strategy of deception and delay with hopes that buying time would actually make it more difficult if the war does resume.
This explains 2 things. This explains President Trump's Truth Social post, because the Islamic Republic is trying to delay. And I think President Trump posted that on Truth Social in response to this tactic by the Islamic Republic, saying like, yep, you're running out of time. I know what you're doing. And also this suggests that the Islamic Republic is thinking their assessment, the Islamic Republic's assessment, is that attacks are imminent and United States and Israel are going to attack soon. It also suggests why on state TV they were talking about guns so much and gun training, because they're afraid that they think that we're going to have an uprising once the second rounds of attack on the Islamic Republic are finished. They're terrified about that. So that might explain why they were doing that on state TV.
Relates to Carg Island, President Trump has a variety of options on the table to put pressure on the Iranian regime. And one of those is the possibility of sending forces to Carg Island, this critical island that accounts for around 90% of Iran's crude oil exports. You also have a variety of other options for President Trump. And remember, right now, the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports remains in place.
Yes.
And Israeli officials tell Fox News.
People forget that. People are like, oh, what is Trump going to do? What is Trump going to do? A lot of people don't forget how much the blockade continues and is doing serious damage every single hour.
Of Iranian ports remains in place. Yeah. And Israeli officials tell Fox News that this is an exponential threat for the regime because
Oh, look at this. This is a very helpful Sea Island. This is Harg Island. That's the airport. Those are the ports on the top right. T Jetty, Sea Island Terminal. Okay, so that's Harg Island.
Internally in Iran, you have this situation where the regime is getting weaker and weaker each day. And as the economic situation gets worse for the Iranian leadership in Tehran, they face new domestic internal pressure. And that is part of the broader strategy by the Trump administration to put continuing pressure on the Iranian regime and make it more difficult for them to have support internally for any sort of future conflict, and also their ability to rebuild in the aftermath of Operation Epic Fury.
Certainly feels like a powder keg right now.
Once the regime is toppled, we could rebuild. We will rebuild so fast. You will be so shocked.
Thanks, Trey.
Thanks, Trey. All right, let's absolutely hope that a bigger war doesn't break out. But I just don't think the Iranians have been humbled, and I think that's President Trump's dilemma at this moment.
Well, I think the challenge too is the Iranian regime is sort of built to last. You know, even with IRGC commanders spread across the country in these different provinces, and so I know that we've been.
Wait, wow. She knows about, guys. She knows about the mosaic structure of IRGC. What the hell? That's pretty impressive. How did she know that? That's pretty good. So, guys, you know what she's referring to? That is really good. Who is this lady? I'm impressed. She's talking about the 32 provincial commanders of the IRGC. The 32. The 32. Look at this. Guys, I know we have 31 provinces, but there are 32 provincial IRGC commanders for some reason. This is the design of IRGC, but that was this guy, Jafari. By the way, Jafari was recently on state TV, which I don't know why he's showing up back again. Guys, Jafari's presence on state TV is a demonstration that Ghalibaf is being pushed aside. Do you know why? Do you know why? Because Jafari and Ghalibaf are enemies. Okay, Jafari was the former commander of IRGC, and he was missing in action for a while. And just while we're getting right when we got news that Ghalibaf is being pushed aside, Jafari is now being highlighted on state TV. Is that a coincidence? Interesting. And Jafari years ago came up with a mosaic structure for IRGC when he was the head of IRGC, which made the 32 provincial commanders of IRGC somewhat independent. We call it a mosaic structure, meaning that they could, that is, the organizational structure is somewhat flat, meaning that they could make decisions on their own without commands from the central command from IRGC. This means that if you kill so many of the IRGC central command, the IRGC could continue to operate because they're not waiting for commands from the central leaders, from the leaders of IRGC. So that's the benefit. But the bug, the downside of this mosaic structure is lack of unity, meaning that now, for example, if the IRGC is trying to surrender or negotiate with President Trump, if they were trying to maybe like not attack, for example, the UAE or not attack some ships in the Persian Gulf, these 32 commanders here, some of them might disagree and keep shooting anyways. So that's the downside of this mosaic structure. And it's interesting because this lady is referring to exactly this structure. Listen to her.
And I think that's President Trump's dilemma at this moment.
Well, I think the challenge too is the Iranian regime is sort of built to last. You know, even with IRGC commanders spread across the country in these different provinces. And so I know that we've been putting pressure on the Iranian regime, but how close is it to breaking? You know, particularly when we're sort of dictated by election cycles as well, with the midterm election coming up. So
yeah, I'm glad you said it that way, especially because a lot of people will expect things to happen quickly. They'll want it over with. They want those gas prices to get right back down to where they were before the conflict. But I think you have to get this thing done correctly in the right timing, because ultimately you don't want them to come back and have a nuclear capability, which is something that we're trying to eliminate.
Well, and Charlie made this point yesterday, which I thought was a really great point.
So yeah, guys, the midterm elections are going to become very relevant to what's happening in Iran. like as we get closer and closer to the midterm elections, a lot of people who are covering the situation in Iran with the Islamic Republic and President Trump and Israel, they're going to, a lot of the conversations regarding the midterm elections is going to be directly connected to Operation Epic Fury and what comes after. So you could expect a lot of our conversations to become all of a sudden about internal US politics, because that's what so many people are going to be focusing on, because they're going to be so tied together.
That shows that President Trump is trying to do the right thing, because what other president would be doing this with an upcoming midterm election, you know, dictated by politics, and he's doing this because he thinks it's the right thing to do. So just wanted to reiterate that, because he made the point yesterday and it registered with me. I thought it was
that's true, guys. A lot of people don't understand this. They think that President Trump is playing politics, but President Trump has decided to risk politics for the sake of doing the right thing, even if it costs him. That's the decision. He has basically risked paying a political, that's what he said himself, actually. He has risked paying an economic price and a political price just because he thinks it's the right thing to do. That the Islamic Republic is evil, and one way or another, he needs to take action against it. I'm not saying if he is or is not going to pay a political price for it, but President Trump has made the decision that it doesn't matter. This is the right thing to do. And not that many politicians make decisions like that. And that is, whatever you think about President Trump, that's admirable.
a great point.
Oh.
Be sure to like.
So that was that. Okay, Goldie, we have 14 super chats. Do you think that it's time to bring the super chat graphic?
Yeah, let me
show something. Okay.
Let me fix the scene here, because I think there was like some issues, so I had to delete it. But I'll bring it back. So that's this one. Wait, where's super chat time?
Oh, I'm back.
Wait, but I have to add the image. You know what? I'll make like a background for this so that we don't have to like add the image every single time.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Like, yeah, super chats or whatever. But
smart.
Yeah, I'll bring it up for now. Where is it? Sorry, guys. Where is it? There we go.
Okay, let's bring it up.
There we go.
Woo! Okay, so we have Pokiko became a member of the channel. Thank you so much, Pokiko. Thank you. Really appreciate your support. And then we have William saying Durud, Goldie, and Armin. Goldie, okay.
Oh, I guess my shoulders are showing out.
Yes.
Hello, Durud.
Hello, and Durud. And thank you, William. And Casey saying, did you see Tommy? Yes, we showed Tommy. Did you see Tommy hold up Prince Reza Pahlavi's picture? Yes, we did. We did. And thank you. In fact, it was your super chat, Casey, that made me go look for it and have it ready to show it in the show. So thank you for that reminder. And thank you for your super chat. And then we have Roman Cabbage, great username, by the way, saying, oh, great job, Goldie, Ghamari, and Armin. Greetings from Mossad, Israel. Well, thank you. Back at you. Thank you, Mossad. Why are your super chats not in shekels if you're Mossad? Oh, maybe it's. Oh, that's actually the point.
It's to confuse the jihadis.
They confuse the jihadis. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, thank you, Roman Cabbage. And then we have more super chats. We have PC. I'm just gonna call you PC. PC saying, Goldie, I attend United Kingdom rally yesterday. Was near stage. Mahyar gave a speech too. Tommy wants a free Iran too. Yes, he does.
I hope you had a lot of fun.
Oh, this reminds me, Goldie. I should have had Tusi's speech ready. I didn't have Tusi's speech ready. Should I get it?
Yeah, we should totally play Tusi's speech. I'd love to hear what he had to say.
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
still
Got it.
catching up on all the news from yesterday because I was, traveling and I was doing my own thing, so I wasn't able to be online as much.
Okay. Tusi was great. Okay, I got a speech ready. Once we go through the super chats, we will watch Tusi next. Thank you for the reminder. Okay, and then PC, PC with another super chat, very generous. Thank you, saying Iranians were fooled in 1979, some of them, not all of them, okay, into letting the Ayatollah in. Now Irans need to end this period and become free. My mom lived in Iran in the 1960s. It was a Western style nation. Yeah, thank you so much. It's an Iranian style nation, which is very close to Western values. Okay, sorry. I hope you don't mind me being this nitpicky, but okay. Okay, so it looks Western because our values are close to Western values, but it was Iranian. But yeah, thank you so much for super chat. The super chat. Should I be this nitpicky or should I cut it out? Let me know if it's annoying. Okay. I can cut it out if you want. All right. And then we have Sarah with the super chat. Thank you. Sarah, saying, hold my beer while I go get my sledgehammer. Yes. Operation Sledgehammer incoming. Yes, PC in the chat saying, yes, I meant that, Armin. Yeah, I know. I'm just very yeah. And thank you, PC, for your super chat. That's very nice. Guys, by the way, you guys are so sweet, and even though this is just my Iranian brain, because we are really, some of these words we have to be careful. But I know you guys are amazing. I love you guys. You guys are on our side. Like sometimes when you say oh, go Persian people, and we say oh, let's say Iranian people. Okay, I know that is being nitpicky, but it does we know you're so supportive. It's not against you. It's just our we have been because of the history that we went through. Sometimes we have to be sensitive about how we use words. So when I correct these types of language, like the words that were being used, I'm not correcting you. Okay, I'm just putting that on the record because we appreciate you guys. No matter how you describe it, no matter what words you use, every single one of you, we appreciate you. This is just us putting the way that we think things should be described out there. Okay. And thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much for the support. And then we have Casey. Casey, thank you. Casey, you're always supporting us so much, always so generous, saying, and Sarah as well, saying, Lindsey Graham called for the strikes to continue. Okay, I'm going to thank you for mentioning that. Let's also get some updates from Amu Lindsey. I'll make sure I have that ready as well. So every time Amu Lindsey talks about Iran, we want to make sure that we highlight that. So thank you for that. Oh, and guys, thank you so much. I got the 10 super chats for today on Liberty Politics. Thank you so much for that. And then let's go to Frank. Frank is saying, redacted swear word using God's name in vain. What? Goldie, I was crying during the playback of your speech. Oh, free Iran. Oh, that's so sweet, Frank. Free Iran, save Western civilization. Goldie is the best. Goldie's speeches are so powerful and emotional, and she says the exact right words at the right time. And thank you, Frank. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Frank.
Thank you. And okay, Danielle saying, I was accidentally muted on Goldie's channel. Oh,
I fixed it. I don't know. Apparently something happened yesterday. I don't know. I think I fixed it, Daniel. So it should be working now. Okay. No, keep her you're now on the Liberty. What's wrong? You don't like being on Liberty Politics? I'm kidding. Okay. It's okay. All right. So, and thank you, Daniel, for the super chat. Ali Asgharpur saying, long live Iran, long live the Shah. Yes, Payande Iran, Javid Shah. And thank you for the super chat. And then Wyatt saying, did you hear about American Monaco with
Islamic Republic. So I heard something. I was watching Iran International. I heard something about it. Maybe I could. I don't know the details about it. I didn't think it was. Yeah, maybe I could put it in the list if you guys want to look up what happened there. This was like a lot of people were interested because that story looked like a spy story. Like maybe I could bring up the yeah, okay, maybe we could talk about it if we have time. Okay, well, let me find a credible source. Okay, maybe I'll talk about it here. Jerusalem Post is good. Okay, I added it to my list for us to look at what happened there. Thank you so much, Wyatt, for the super chat. And then, oh, you said not to say the first part, right? In your name. Okay, Rooster only. They got a shopping center in the ship, I think. They do? That's where you got. Really? Okay, that's nice. So if I have a shopping center and the ships, it makes sense for them to have flowers there. That's a very useful thing to have, given that they're away from their family for a long time. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that information. Now I know. And then we have John Diamond saying, I work on a nuclear power plant in the 80s, Beaver Valley. Must be the backup diesel generator. Oh, okay. Okay, well, thank you for that information. Okay. And that's pretty cool. You're like, oh yeah, that's very cool. You worked at a nuclear power plant. You're like Homer Simpson. Okay, so we have another super chat saying, did you all see Trump's truth? Yes, we covered it. Koi, yeah, we covered it at the beginning of the show. Yes, it just happened. We saw, and thank you for letting us know in case we didn't see it. Fuka, I think I remember how you pronounce your name now. Fuka is saying, I'm starting to miss the alarm sound. Oh, that's so, oh my God, you Israelis, why are you so good? Why are you such amazing people? Look at this. Anywhere else in the world, if you have alarm that you have to go to the shelters, you would be like, this is horrible. But Israelis, they want to hear the alarm because that means that we're liberating Iran. Aren't these the best? Oh, Fuxa. Aren't Israelis the best? Aren't Israelis the best? You guys are amazing. Thank you. Look at what Israelis are wanting to go through just because it means that we're moving closer to liberate Iran. You guys are, honestly, thank you. We Iranians will never forget this. We will never forget this. Thank you. So Fuxa, thank you guys in the chat for correcting me. And thank you also for laughing at me for getting it wrong. And then we got Ancient Anderson. Great name, by the way. Saying YouTube censoring what I want to say. I will reply to this in a minute if it goes through. I'm gonna find it. I have to scroll. Okay. Ancient Anderson. Where is it? I don't know if I could find it. I'm not gonna be able to find it. I'm sorry. It's way too. It's actually a Goldie's chat, so I don't even know. I have no access to it. I'm sorry. Sorry. I hope. So he couldn't put it as a super chat because YouTube.
That's not us. That's just YouTube's policy, unfortunately. So there's really nothing that that I can do about that. It's just YouTube's policies, unfortunately. Sorry about that.
Oh wait, I found it. You responded Javid Shah. That's what you said. Okay. Well, YouTube is censoring Javid Shah?
That's weird.
Okay. So you responded Javid Shah. Okay. So I found it, but it wasn't okay. Maybe your reply was censored as well. I'll keep an eye if you comment again. Okay, so and then William with another super chat. Oh my God, we're getting so many super chats. Thank you guys. Say one more super chat after this, and Armin hits the goal. Well, I did. Thank you, William. You're so supportive. And then we get Robert Rogers with the $1 super sticker. Thank you so much for that. And William, again, thank you. You're always so kind. And then Tani, I think. I'm just gonna say Tanya. I don't know where the name starts and the when the name stops and the last name starts. Okay, so it's saying hi from the Israeli side of Lebanese border. Our house has been shaking since Friday. Nothing on news. Boom, boom. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, you guys. This is like really. Oh my god, what a situation to be with. Like, I hope, guys, once the Islamic Republic falls, it also would be the complete end of Hezbollah. I hope that the fall of the Islamic Republic will also mean the fall of Hezbollah. You guys have to never go through this ever again. I hope the next generation of Israelis only learn about what it is like to be in a shelter because of the stories that their parents and their grandparents will tell them. I hope basically the story of going into shelters and getting bombed will just be the story, just similar to the story of Holocaust, not something that you're experiencing, but only something that your parents are telling you about what it used to be to live like in Israel. Soon, hopefully, we'll get there. And then Amir, thank you so much for 5 membership gifts to Liberty Politics. Thank you so much. And also membership gifts to Goldie Ghamari. Thank you. Oh my God. You always goes on both sides. Thank you. And then we have RG. I'm just going to call you RG with the $2 super sticker. Thank you so much for the support. Shannon saying, I've come to love the determination, resilience, and fire of the Iranian people. Well, thank you so much for that. Saying, thank you for showing me. I bought a free Iran bumper sticker. You guys are going to win. Oh my God. I think so too. And thank you for believing in us. And thank you so much for your support. Wow, we got so many super chats today, Goldie. So this is a Hebrew name, so I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. I'm sure somebody's going to say it. Oh, Tanya. That was okay. Sorry. The last name was Tanya. Sorry, guys. I suck at reading names. Tanya, not Tani. Yes. So what is this name? Rafi. It's Rafi. Is that Rafi? I'm just gonna call. Somebody said Rafi, so I'm gonna just assume that's your name. So you're saying, I tell you why we are the best Israeli people. It's because you were there for us in our darkest hours. You and Goldie. That's why. Oh, that's so wholesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh my God, this is such a wholesome community we have here. And then we have, okay, I have to remember Rafi. So next time I see your name, I know it's Rafi. Okay, I'm going to forget, but I'm going to try to remember. Amir saying Iranian, Rafi, let me see. Raphael, Ninja Turtles, Raphael, Rafi. Okay, that's how I'm going to remember. Amir saying Iranians are the best in the world. I mean, we're one, well, yes. Well, I would say so. I don't know if that's controversial. I think so too, but not because of inherently. I don't think it's inherent. I think it's because of the experiences that we had. If by being the best in the world you mean that they understand the values that and the methods and the ideas that makes a society prosper, because of the bad experience that we had, because of how our country was and how our country is now, through experience, our nation and our people know more than most people around the world what the correct values are, what the right ideas are, and what are the ideas that harm a society. So just like the Israelis who through years of bad experience figured out the way and know what the right answer is on how to make a society prosperous, Iranian people also, more than most people around the world, understand this. It's not because of genetics or race or DNA. It's only because of the experience that they went through. So that understanding, that wisdom, that knowledge, that experience got them there. So that's how I see it. I don't want to act like I believe in racial supremacy or anything like that. It's based on experience and the horrible darkness that we had to go through. And thank you, Amir, for supporting us. You're always there for us, so I appreciate that. So Christian is saying, hi, Goldie and Armin. My super chats didn't go through. Look in the chat. I don't know how to find it. I'm sorry. Look in the chat. I don't know, guys. When you tell us to do that, it's going to be difficult for us to find it because there's so much other I wouldn't be able to find it. I'm so sorry. Please forgive us. It doesn't work like that. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to find it. Oh no, I feel bad. I hope you don't feel let down. Okay, let's get this right. Fuxa. Did I get it right? Fuxa. Okay, Fuxa. Fuxa is saying, oh, it's totally not because I want my tests to be canceled. Okay. Okay, so that's his real reason. He just doesn't want to go for his exam. Okay. That's good. That's a good one. Okay, that's a good one. And thank you, Fixa. Thank you for the super chat. And saying, Casey saying, your ranting this morning was magnificent. Thank you, Casey. I'm glad that you appreciate them. And then we have Pops Interpede. Okay, just I'm gonna call you Pops. Just became a member. Thank you for being a member. I appreciate that. Oh my God, we got another super chat. Danny saying, thank you for siding with us despite all the hate. Oh, of course, we have been with you forever. Like, for our connection is ancient. Okay, this hate that you're experiencing from the Islamic Republic, this is not us. This is our occupiers. This is only 47 years of 5,000 years of history. Okay, so 47 years is nothing. This hate is like just a bump in the road. We will move past this and it would be as if it has never been. Iran and Israel, no two country have more of an ancient bond than Iran and Israel together. And many people forgot about that because of these past 47 years. But we will bring it back. Okay, so those were the super chats, Goldie.
That was fantastic. I always appreciate seeing people's comments. You know, I try to read through the other comments as well. Yeah, no, that was fantastic. That was really great. Thank you. All right, should we go to Tusi's speech?
Yes, it was an epic speech.
All right,
short, sweet, and to the point.
Let's
see it. Oh, okay. Let me bring this down. And guys, we will get back to the super chats soon. I'm just going to read this one. I'm just going to this one right now before we go to 2C because it's about what we just said. It's saying we did not forget. We didn't. Your bar is saying we did not forget our bond. Well, thank you for not forgetting because many people did forget. Like because it's hard to remember on the Iranian side because of all the brainwashing in the past 47 years. But thank you, Bart. Thank you. All right. So the rest of the super chats will be on the next round. But yeah, let's go with 2C now. So watch this. Look at this epic speech.
Hello. Before we came here today, they said that Keir Starmer's government have implemented new facial recognition systems. They're so new, they're from China, apparently. Get you from all angles, high quality. So I thought I'll wear my good suit, do my hair. Make sure
everyone make their ways.
But Keir Starmer, a lot of you guys, literally today, have been criticizing him, saying, what is he, divisive or a bad leader? That's the one. No, Keir Starmer has single-handedly united more people against himself. We got the Scots and the English. We got the Americans and the Canadians. We got the Iranians and the Jews. Even the French are here. I don't know who let them in, but but we've seen this before. What Keir Starmer is doing here today, declaring war on every single one of you. Why do you think he's doing it? It's quite simple. It's not abnormal. We've seen it before, especially if you're Iranian. When a world leader or a government starts to be in decline, they start a crisis. in dictatorships like the Islamic Republic in Iran, they create external enemies, start a war. When it comes to domestic issues in the UK, Keir Starmer creates internal enemies. That's you guys. So he can introduce new measures in the name of national security. For the past 15 to 20 years, I've spent many times telling the political establishment, do not turn Britain into another Iran. We've seen it before. The coalition between the left and Islam, not going to work out well for you guys, especially if you're a liberal. It's time to fight. It's time for this movement to continue to grow, because this is not really just about England anymore. When Tommy started this sort of stuff 20 years ago, it's not even about the UK. It is about uniting the kingdom. It's also about uniting the West. This is why we're here. Support each other. We live in a globalized world. Fight them where they are.
Amazing. Amazing job. Amazing job. Thank you. Thank you, Tusi. So that was one thing you guys brought up in the super chat. And another thing that you guys brought up was Amu Lindsay talking about Iran again, as always. So we always want to check in on Amu Lindsay and his updates. Hold on. Let me also make sure I have something else ready to go. Okay, so let's watch this.
Is there any evidence they've changed? I talked to the CIA director yesterday. Is there any evidence that the crowd in charge now is any less committed to destroying Israel, going after us, the great Satan, purifying Islam? I think the answer is no. So weaken them further and you may get a deal later, but you're not going to get a deal with this crowd until you hurt them more. Is there any evidence they've changed?
Always the best takes. Always the best takes. Maybe we should find the bigger, the full interview. No,
it might be
Is
on
that
his
what-
YouTube account, or it could. What news media outlet is this?
I was here. It's NBC News.
NBC News. So probably on YouTube. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh yeah, here you go.
Oh, thank you.
Found it. I'll send it to you.
Thank you, Goldie.
You're welcome.
Teamwork.
Always. There you go.
Now is Republican Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina. Senator Graham, welcome back to Meet the
Thank you
Press.
very much.
Thank you for being here after an historic week.
Yeah.
Let's start right.
Well, I wish they had timestamps so I could go to the Iran sections. What the? Get an intern to put timestamps on your video. It's easy now with AI.
Right there with the President's Summit in China. One of the biggest issues discussed was Taiwan. Just for our
Right.
viewers, it's a self-ruling democracy that China has vowed to control.
Right.
Now, Congress voted to approve billions of dollars in arms sales to defend the island. But in an interview after the summit, President Trump would not commit to supporting Taiwan. I want to play you a little bit of what he had to say.
You're waiting on approving billions of dollars of weapons for Taiwan.
That's right.
Is that
I'm
moving
holding it.
forward?
Well, I haven't approved it yet. We're going to see what happens.
What are you looking
I may
for?
do it. I may not do it.
Yeah, what's your hinge point?
Well, I'm not going to say that, but I may do it. I may not do it.
Senator, can Taiwan be secure without U.S. support?
Well, I think it's in our interest to make sure they can be secure. The country, for a long time, has a one China policy. Now, what does that mean? We don't recognize two Chinas. We recognize one China with two systems. It's been the policy of the United States to help provide military aid to Taiwan. We have economic integration with Taiwan. So I want to continue that policy. Strategic ambiguity. What would we do if China invaded Taiwan? Well, we have strategic ambiguity. Trump said, President Trump, it would be up to me and me alone. And he's right about that. What can I do as a member of Congress? We'll be introducing with Senator Sullivan from Alaska hard-hitting pre-invasion sanctions that would put tariffs and sanctions on China if they did invade Taiwan. I want China to know, if you invade Taiwan, try to take Taiwan by force, here's what happens to your economy. The full weight and measure of sanctions and tariffs from the United States will kick in on.
Interesting. So he's focusing on an economic response to China if they invade Taiwan.
Day one. That's what I want to do to deter an invasion. As to the weapons sales, if the president decides not to approve the package, I'll leave that up to him, but I hope he will be able to tell the country by saying no to the weapons package, I got an agreement with China that makes Taiwan more secure. We'll see what happens.
You want him to send the weapons, though, and does he support the sanctions package you just talked about?
We haven't talked to him about it, but I think there'll be overwhelming support in Congress to let China know. If we'd done this with Russia, if you invade Ukraine, here's what happens to you on day one, I don't think they would invade it. So let's make it clear to China, if you try to take Taiwan by force, here's what happens to your economy on day one. I'm hoping the administration would support that. In terms of weapons sales, it's up to the president. I would encourage him to make Taiwan strong so we can deter aggression. If you give an inch.
Yeah, so one thing I like that President Trump is doing with Taiwan is pushing them to spend more of their GDP on military. Okay, one thing I think that President Trump pushes on that other people think that it's a lack of support, but I think it's actually an empowerment of U.S. allies, is by getting them to become self-reliant on their military, right? So selling them weapons, but also getting them to, instead of always, it's basically removing training. It's like, to me, a lot of people think that with Taiwan or with other countries, President Trump not committing to military support, but just selling them weapons and pushing them to spend more of their GDP to buy weapons from the United States is a lack of support for U.S. allies. I don't see it that way. I see U.S. removing the training wheels of these countries so that they themselves could become stronger. And sometimes too much support keeps your allies weak. There is such a thing as too much support that at the end of the day doesn't actually work for your allies. You might think like, oh, more support is better for your allies. No, sometimes too much support keeps countries weak. And Taiwan is now has been pushed to spend 10% of its GDP, which is really crazy high, on military. And I think long-term, this is the right approach.
China, they'll take them on Taiwan. I think they'll take a mile, but we're not looking for war. We're not looking for conflict. I want to keep the status quo.
Just to follow up on that point, President Trump warned other countries last year that when it comes to Iranian oil, quote, if you buy it, you're not doing any business with the United States. As you know, China buys 90% of Iran's oil. Are you disappointed that President Trump wasn't able to get China to stop buying Iranian oil during this summit?
Well, President Trump said, we don't need China. I'm not looking for a favor from China to help to end the Iranian conflict. But here's the soft underbelly of Iran. They're a fossil fuel economy. As to Russia, we're very close to sanctions being passed by the Congress that will allow the president to put tariffs and sanctions on the shadow fleet. And any country that buys cheap Russian oil to prop up Putin that doesn't help Ukraine can be tariffed. He put a 25% tariff on India, President Trump did, for buying Russian oil. There'll come a moment here where China is going to have to be held accountable for what they're doing. And without China buying Iranian oil, their economy would collapse. So where are we with Iran? I think we've hit a wall when it comes to negotiations. Here's what the president said just a couple of days ago. Basically, I can say this with I'm not going to be much more patient. Any sane person would make a deal, but they might be crazy. The president's had it with moving the goalpost. You get a deal, the next day they wake up in the president's word. It's like we never had the conversation. So what happens next? I think we hit a wall on deal making. I would encourage the president look at reducing Iran's military capability even further. They've been dramatically weakened, but they're still targets that could weaken them more militarily. And I would also keep the embargo on to weaken their economy. And I'd let the Iranians know if you keep terrorizing the region, Karg Island, which is your source of revenue, will be in play. I think that would be the smart next play. You can't pursue a deal more than the people on the other side want a deal.
Let me ask you, I just want to be very explicit. You are saying you think these negotiations have hit a wall.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you saying, Senator, that you think it's time for President Trump to resume military action against Iran?
I think you can't get a coherent answer from Iran because they can't be coherent. I think they're so disheveled now. They're so weakened. They agree to things and the next day they back up. President Trump's very frustrated. So what to do next? I think it's going to be very difficult to get a deal with the current regime. Is there any evidence they've changed? I talked to the CIA director yesterday. Is there any evidence that the crowd in charge now is any less committed to destroying Israel, going after us, the great Satan, purifying Islam? I think the answer is no. So weaken them further and you may get a deal later, but you're not going to get a deal with this crowd until you hurt them more.
So you're saying it sounds like you do support more military action at this point. Do you think that's something that will happen? Do you think it could happen in days, weeks, months?
I think the status quo is hurting us all. The longer the strait is closed, the more we try to pursue a deal that never happens, the stronger Iran gets. So according, my analysis is there's nothing to suggest that the people in charge now are any different in terms of the regime's goal to terrorize the world, destroy Israel, come after us.
I love how much Lindsey Graham understands the Islamic Republic. Like Lindsey Graham is at close to Marco Rubio levels of, with this.
In terms of the regime's goal to terrorize the world, destroy Israel, come after us. So what do you do next? You weaken them further.
Yeah.
What President Trump has done has been amazing militarily, but there's still more targets to be had. And there's things we can do to hurt the energy infrastructure is their soft underbelly. If you go back to the fight, I'd put energy on top of the list.
So you're calling for strikes on the energy infrastructure?
Guys, it's actually so easy to hit, completely destroy the Islamic Republic. Like if you take the energy infrastructure, they're such soft targets. They have zero defense. And basically you could take down the Islamic Republic in 5 minutes by just hitting the energy infrastructure. The only reason why the Americans are trying to find other ways is because that would also be really temporarily be really bad for the economic situation in Iran. I think a lot of Iranians, if you tell them that that's the only way to get rid of the Islamic Republic, they're willing to pay that price. But I think the only reason why the Americans are not going with that option is because they're trying to not hurt the Iranian people economically. But honestly, if they go with that, this whole thing could be over and done with in such a short amount of time.
There's things we can do to hurt the energy infrastructure is their soft underbelly. If you go back to the fight, I'd put energy on top of the list.
Yeah, exactly. Texas saying it would make it more difficult to rebuild Iran. Yes, more difficult, but still doable. But you're right.
So you're calling for strikes on the energy infrastructure, Senator?
I'm calling to hurt this regime. If you do the same old thing, you're going to get the same result. Hurt them more. Maybe they'll make a deal if you hurt them enough. But right now, I think they're trying to wait us out. I think they're playing games. And in the words of the president, I think they're crazy. I think he's right.
Senator, the goal of this, one of the key...
By the way, imagine how stupid it is that people think President Trump is going to do genocide, is wanting to do genocide on Iranian people. When in reality, the one thing that is holding him back is trying to leave for the Iranian people something to rebuild with. That is the only thing that is holding him back, and then they accuse him of wanting to commit genocide on the Iranian people. It's so opposite of reality. It couldn't get any farther from the truth.
Goals from President Trump was to get their Iran's nuclear capabilities, to wipe that out. How does the United States retrieve Iran's nuclear material without sending in ground forces?
Well, hopefully
you topple the regime and you get the transitional government to cooperate with you with the nuclear dust. That's the way.
Retrieve Iran's nuclear material without sending in ground forces.
Well, hopefully you can do it diplomatically.
But don't you need to send in ground forces if you want to retrieve it, which is what we've heard Prime Minister Netanyahu
He wants to get
about.
the nuclear dust. There's another way to do it, and I talked to him about it yesterday. Draw a circle around where we know it's at. Call it the circle of death. Anybody goes inside the circle is going to die until we can find a way to deal with this The goal is to make sure they can't retrieve it. They can't make a dirty bomb. They can't further enrich. Their enrichment capability has been obliterated at least for a couple of years.
All right. Let me turn to the.
I think the best option is to first do regime change and then work with the transitional government of Prince Reza Pahlavi. That's the safest way for the Americans going in.
Economy and the economic effects.
But I like that. I do like the name Circle of Death. You know, I do like that name.
Rated at least for a couple of years.
All right. Let me turn to the economy and the economic effects of the war, which are being felt here at home. Inflation has climbed to the highest annual rate in 3 years. Gas prices are at a 4-year high. Grocery prices are climbing. President Trump was pressed on how all of these factors impact how he views his negotiations with Iran. Take a look.
I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all.
True.
Do you agree with the president that he shouldn't be taking Americans' financial situation into account when dealing with Iran?
That's his church.
Yeah, because your financial situation is probably not going to look very good if you open the window and you see a mushroom cloud. What do you guys, what do you think that's going to do to your bank accounts? Okay. People are like, oh, there's like finances, they're bad, gas prices bad. I think the gas prices in the US would be just slightly higher than they are right now if there was a mushroom cloud anywhere on the planet right now, right? I mean, what do I know? I only studied finance and econ in college, but I remember enough to know that a nuclear war is probably not that good for gas prices. And I don't think gas prices would be on your mind if that was happening.
A moment. When Churchill came into power, he promised blood, sweat, toil, heartache until we deal with.
So people are saying that was taken out of context. What President Trump was, if you listen to it in full context, what President Trump is trying to say is that the priority should always be it's not like we're going to make the Americans suffer because this is more important. He basically, the way he describes it, if you listen to full context, is that we're just taking a detour and we're going to go back on track and go back to the economic progress that we're on after we're done with this.
The Nazis, who are an existential threat to the British way of life. And if Hitler had taken charge of the planet, it would have been the darkest hour in humanity. I believe Iran wants a nuclear weapon. They would use it. So does President Trump. They would use it as part of their religious agenda. They would destroy the Jewish state. They would eventually hold us hostage. So his audience, the Iranian.
I mean, guys, this is not a mystery. Them wanting to destroy Israel is what they have been telling us in school. I grew up in Iran, and this every single year this was told to us that not only they're going to destroy Israel one day, they're going to destroy America one day. They're going to take the whole world one day. This was told to us in school, on TV, on the street art, on painted on walls, all the time. I grew up being told by the Islamic regime that, we're going to destroy Israel and United States one day.
Regime. Do I worry about gas prices? Yes. But President Trump's right. The biggest threat to the stability in the world is a nuclear-armed Iran, and whatever price we have to pay, we will pay. What did Churchill say? Whatever price we have to pay to beat Hitler, we will pay. Same with Iran. The good news, we're inside the 10-yard line. I think if we go back to military activity, weaken them further, then we can end this thing pretty soon.
Senator, you take me to my next question, because 70% of Americans in a new poll say President Trump is doing a bad job on the economy, the number one issue for voters. As you know, bottom line, is it worth losing the midterms if the result is a non-nuclear Iran?
I don't know, guys. What do you think? It's worth everything. Everything. A nuclear jihadi state, whatever price you have to pay to not have a nuclear jihadi state with global domination in its mind, paying whatever price you could think of is worth it. It's obviously worth it.
Worth losing the midterms if the
worth losing the midterms and worth losing all the midterms indefinitely forever.
Voters, as you know, bottom line, is it worth losing the midterms if the result is a non-nuclear Iran?
Gee, guys, I don't know. That's a tough one. On one hand, we're gonna lose the midterms. That's bad. But on the other hand, we have this death cult with a nuclear weapon. Which one is worse? I don't know. It's so hard to decide.
It's worth losing my job. If I had to give my job up to make sure Iran would never have a nuclear weapon, I would do it.
Would you give up the House and the Senate?
I would give up politically. The most important thing I can do with the job I've been given is to protect the American people. Now, you don't have to agree with me, but I've been this way for 20 years. I believe they're religious Nazis in Iran. If they had a nuclear weapon, they would use it. They've been trying to get one. They've been cheating. Obama and Biden were jokes when it came to containing Iran. Trump is doing something people should have done a long time ago. But here's the good news. Gas prices will come down when you put Iran in a box. Saudi-Israel peace will become possible when you put Iran in a box. The upside of dealing with Iran is enormously good, but you got to deal with them.
Senator, let me ask you about the news overnight. Senator Bill Cassidy losing his primary in Louisiana. You worked closely with Senator Bill Cassidy on a range of different issues, including a plan to replace Obamacare. He, of course, voted to convict President Trump back in 2021 in the impeachment trial. Now he's lost his seat. Are you glad that Senator Cassidy is no longer going to be your colleague, Senator?
No, I like
Okay,
it.
we're moving out of Iran stuff. So because we're running out of time, we need to do the remaining super chat, so I make sure that we don't run out of time. So I'm gonna bring the super chat graphic on. And do we have a scene? Is this the proper scene? Okay, I'm just gonna
No, but that's fine.
That's fine. Okay,
For the-
okay.
Well, yeah, that's okay.
Okay. So guys, the reason why I'm doing this right now is because we're getting to the time that I'm going to go to our discussion group very soon. And Goldie, you're going to have a live stream soon, right?
Yeah,
At
yeah,
what time? Yes.
yeah. I'm not sure yet, but I'm working on a few things. But I will definitely be going live later tonight.
Fantastic. So guys, right after we finish the live stream, I'm going to go to the discussion group. And if you want to join the discussion group, the link is in the chat. And there's going to be here, and not only the link is in the chat, there's also a QR code on the top right that you could scan, which takes you to the discussion group where me and other people are going to be discussing these topics and other political related topics. So, but yeah, let's go through the super chats. And guys, what the hell? You guys are so generous today. Thank you so much. And okay, let's go. William is saying the chat is so wholesome because it's been cleaned by Head and Shoulder and Armin Hammer.
That's so funny.
Oh, Head and Shoulder and Armin Hammer. Okay, I like that. Thank you, William. Okay. And then we have Pops. Pops is saying, A, I need Armin's lion and sun flag. Oh, really? Well, thank you. Okay. B, you are both aces with us in Texas, USA, Javicha. Well, thank you. By the way, guys, this flag is the crownless flag of Iran, and Goldie's flag right above her head is the one with the crown. That's the imperial flag. Okay, and I have the imperial flag here with me as well. And thank you so much for the compliment and your support. And then I got a giant super chat. Holy crap. Thank you so much from Christian from Norway saying it's okay. And I think you're talking about what happened recently in Norway and the meeting that the Norwegian government had with the Islamic Republic officials. And thank you, by the way, you always are so supportive. Thank you so much for these giant super chats that you give me. Saying the national day is today. Yesterday on protest, Iranian Norwegian politician from, I don't know how to pronounce that. This person is a conservative, Mahmoud Farahmand. Oh, wow. We have a conservative Iranian Norwegian politician in Norway from the Conservative Party, apparently. So Mahmoud Farahmand held a speech and called himself a loud Iranian in response to leftist foreign minister calling protesters loud. Oh, wow. Okay, so the leftist foreign minister of Norway, the same guy that went to Iran and it was buddies to Arakshi, was calling Iranian protesters loud in Norway. And this conservative politician, Mahmoud Farahmand, who sounds Iranian as well, held a speech and he called himself a loud Iranian in response to the foreign minister calling Iranian protesters loud. Oh, okay, I got it. Thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you so much for defending Norway against these leftists and supporting the right politicians there. Thank you so much, Christian. And again, thank you so much for your giant super chats. You are always so supportive and very kind. And then we got Alex here. Alex saying Tusi will go down in history books. Remember these moments. Yes, he will. And also Goldie Ghamari. Tusi and Goldie will become part of Iran's history forever.
And you.
And
you.
I would be mostly remember as the side character in your life.
No, not at all.
No, for sure. I would be proud of that. And I would be proud of that. Okay.
It's funny.
Okay. And thank you, Alex. Thank you, Alex. And then we have Wyatt. Wyatt saying, this sounds interesting. Have not seen it. Elon Musk joins Tommy Robinson. Oh, yeah. Sparks London crowd with explosive speech. Google it on YouTube. Okay, I'm going to watch that. Thank you so much for telling me that. Thank you. Thank you, Wyatt. For like, I'm gonna try to remember to go watch that. And Dominic is saying, thank you both for showing the truth. Well, thank you so much for supporting us. And yep, thank you for your support. Dominic, you're always also, I remember you're always very supportive. And then PJ saying, thank you so much, Lady Goldie and Gentleman Armin, fighting for the people of Iran. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for saying that. And thank you so much for your support. I'm not going to be able to pronounce this. Okay.
We have a new member. Welcome. Welcome to Goldie's Game.
Yes. I'm not. Yeah. And thank you so much. Lucas. Luca. I'm going to call you Lucas. Okay. Lucas just became a member on Goldie's channel. Thank you so much for supporting us. And thank you so much for your membership. And then William saying she's trying. Oh, you're talking about her, the host. Oh, you're talking about her. Yeah, she's trying the hypnotic eyes on him. Actually, that's a good place that I paused. Imagine. You're right. Oh my god, she's got I was actually getting a little bit scared from but yes, okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Let me bring this down. And thank you, William, again for the super chat. And saying, Alex, you both too. Well, thank you, Alex. Thank you for another super chat. And thank you so much. Okay, Goldie, those were the super chats. Let me remove this. And how do I bring us? Let me like this. What am I doing? How do I make us both? I don't see a layout. There we go. Fantastic.
You just have to remove the image.
Okay. All right, Goldie, that was us for today. And
fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic. I think we did a good job in 2 hours. We basically covered the most important stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely. And so guys, we'll see you tomorrow for day 142 of Iran Revolution Live. But in the meantime, Armin's having his discussion group. And then I'll be live streaming later today. Not quite sure when. I still have a little bit of unpacking to do because I, basically just got back from the airport right before we began. Guys, I am working on a couple of videos that I'm going to be uploading later today as well, plus my live stream later this evening. So keep an eye out for that. I'm looking forward to coming back online.
So guys, because you don't know exactly when Gold is going to go live, make sure that next to the subscribe button, you click the notification bell on, and then you select all so that YouTube notifies you when Goldie goes on live. Okay, so make sure that you have the notification bell on. Okay?
It's a surprise. Yeah, you guys, I'm keeping everyone on their toes. Yeah. So.
Yes. Yes. All right, guys. So we're gonna go, and I'll see you. Whoever comes to the discussion group, I'll see you in 8 minutes. And Goldie, whenever she goes live. So until then, I'm Israel Chai. Long live America.
God bless America.
جاوید شاه
پاینده
ایران.
غرق انقلاب است. کشور ما، تاریخ ما در سیدگر فرا گرفته، گویی اهورا مستا دوباره در نور خود مرا گرفته. اکنون سرودی سر میدهم باز فارغ از رنج و تشویش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. هن ای پدر، هن ای پسر، برخیز و با ما شو همگام، تا درد آن تجربه تلخ ما را نکشیده در آب. بگذار هر دم بغرند گرگ‌ها دم لباس میش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ای کارگر، ای برزگر، راحت قانون ادامه دارد در این زمان که پرتو یزدان از هر سو بر تو میبارد. پس پیش به سوی آزادی از بحر خزر تا کیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. خلق‌ها به پا بهر دفاع از استقلال و آزادی، تا بشکنیم پشت ارتجاع تیریزی ایران آبادی. تا زنده سازیم سنت‌های می از بر آیین و کیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. با امید روزی که تمام این دلبشو و انقلاب تموم بشه و ما در روشنایی، نور و سعادت مردم کشورمون غرق بشیم. نه خارجی، نه بیگانه، نه مستشارهای ویرانی، نه چیر خاران، نه کاسلیسان، فقط هم رزمان ایرانی. تا با شرافت میهنی بسازی بهر فرزندان خویش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. مردان بیایید داخل صف ما، اکنون که آغاز رویاست. دشمنان بدانید ما زنده هستیم، بعد از ما هم ایران پابرجاست. آن روح شیطان ما را فریب داد با صد شعار مردمیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. پرچم ما، پرچم ایران غرق خون شهیدان، روی شانه هامان هم میکنیمش در هر خیابان و میدان. تا ماسک دلغکان را برداریم از روی تسبیح و ریش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش.